Before we start, I just want to point out that Steampunks has now surpassed 10,000 lifetime views, and we're up to about 115 subscribers. I just want to thank everyone who's ever subscribed or liked a video. You guys are the reason we keep going, so thank you. And now back to the show. Hey everyone, it's Tanner from Steampunks, and welcome back for another video. StarFox Zero is finally here, and Nintendo can once again put another major franchise on the back burner to focus on another. We've been waiting since E3 to get our hands on the newest StarFox, and with the release delay making us wait another 4 months, we were definitely frothing at the mouth by the time we were climbing into our R-Wings. Now without further ado, let's talk about my 5 first impressions of StarFox Zero. Now right away you are going to love or hate the way this game controls. The game gives you a brief introduction into how the new control scheme works before dropping you onto Corneria for your first mission, and it only gets more hectic from there. The controls aren't so much a problem as much as the camera can be. The player's view of the combat is split between the TV and the gamepad pretty equally, causing players to have to constantly look up and down between two screens. Aiming is controlled by the gamepad's gyro mechanics, the same way that Splatoon uses them for aiming. Using these controls can keep your R-Wing flying level, and still allows you to aim at enemies on either side of you using the gamepad. While all of these new controls can be a bit jarring at first, veteran StarFox players will also be greeted with more classic mechanics such as barrel rolls and somersaults. Personally, I found the two-screen combat to be complex at first, but after playing for a few hours I can say that it's very intuitive once you have it mastered. All of these controls can make for some very intense gameplay, and whether you love them or hate them, can decide your opinion of the game pretty quickly. StarFox originally appeared on the SNES, and by today's standards, those graphics are pretty janky. But for the time, they were breaking the mold. It was 3D polygons that had hardly been used in gaming at the time. StarFox was wildly popular, but perhaps not as popular as its successor, StarFox 64. I remember there was a time in school where StarFox was all any kid could talk about, and being able to play as Fox McCloud in Smash Bros. Forever cemented StarFox as a household Nintendo name. My point with all of this is that StarFox continues to push the bounds on graphics, to live up to the expectations of players. Even for running on a console that repeatedly gets beef for not being powerful enough, StarFox manages to not only be one of the best looking games on the Wii U, but maybe one of the best looking games of 2016 so far. There's just so much to take in during every mission, every environment feels like its own unique entity to explore. Keeping you focused on your missions, however, is your trusty crew. Ever since E3, Nintendo has been talking about their new 3D sound technology that they would be featuring in StarFox Zero. Now, talking about a game that everyone can see is a lot different than talking about some new sound technology that you can't really demonstrate properly to a live audience. So, long story short, I've always been kind of skeptical of the entire thing. Now that it's here, I have to say that I'm pretty impressed. The sounds that come from the gamepad somehow travel into your ears in a way that make it feel like it's in your head, or you're wearing earbuds or something. Now I know what you're thinking, I have no way to demonstrate this to you, so I guess you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Even myself at first thought this must be some kind of placebo effect, like I've heard Nintendo talk about this for long enough that my brain was just expecting it when I play StarFox. But the game actually gives you the option to toggle the 3D sound at the push of a button, and there actually is a noticeable difference. The 3D sound ain't bullshit, it actually works, and it's pretty cool. I'm excited to see what other games they use it in. Now, for those who don't know, this game is a reimagining of StarFox 64. Yeah, I know, we have the original, and a remake, and now a reimagining. Don't get me started. What I'm actually talking about is the difference in difficulty level. StarFox 64, while being wildly popular and gaining a huge following among gaming fans, was notoriously easy to complete. Little side story, I used to have a supervisor who liked to talk about gaming a lot, and one day we got on the subject of StarFox 64. And he told me that he used to play that game so much that he could go home from school for lunch, beat StarFox 64, and then head back to school. And I took him at his word. That game is easily completable in under an hour if you take the correct path around the planets. Anyway, StarFox Zero is a far departure from this, in the sense that the missions are much harder. Some missions are straightforward and resemble missions from past games, while others take on new forms, like using a drone copter to traverse a fortress without being spotted, or speeding in your R-Wing to blow up some nukes that are heading for Corneria. The missions are very intense and often require players to change their focus rapidly. Some of the scenarios mixed with the controls can make for some high-octane situations and some unforgettable gaming experiences. This game is much longer than its predecessors. There are more missions and more ways to complete them, which leads me to replay value. The replay value of this game is through the roof. There are multiple ways to complete each mission, high scores to attain and break, unlockables to collect, and secrets to find. There's no way that you can see everything with a single run, making multiple playthroughs a necessity for players who want to collect everything. There's just so much to do and see. Nintendo has really taken note at how much value a game should pack in. Donkey Kong Country, Yoshi's Woolly World, and Mario Maker are packed to the brim with secrets and replay potential. It seems that StarFox will also fit into this category well. StarFox Zero, with all its unlockables and alternate missions, will surely give any player hours and hours of enjoyment. To sum up, I'm just really happy to see a classic Nintendo franchise get a well-deserved rebirth on a current console, especially after being neglected for so long. Now let's just get Nintendo focusing on a proper sequel to this told and told again story. Thanks everybody for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a like and maybe think about subscribing to Steampunks. We're a small channel and that stuff really helps us out. You can find me at Steampunk Review, and be sure to check out some of our other videos. Until next time guys.